So today, so basically it's just like I want to start a podcast. Mostly it will talk about education, I could say, but also related to pharmaceutical science things because we are pharmacists.
Pharmaceutical background.
Yeah, so well, it's gonna be the first episode,
one.
So you should
Starting
be
off
honored
our podcast.
because I
Pleasure is
chose
mine.
you. Oh my god, yes, thank you so much. It's just like a little chit chat to talk about. Well, for example, we can compare the education in Indonesia, for example, and in India, your home country.
Yeah.
And also, well, in France, because now
We
we
are
are
in France.
master student in France. So probably now you can like give introduction, like
Okay.
your name, your educational background, or maybe you have professional background, for example. Like,
Yeah.
times is yours.
So I'm from India, and my name is Jinesh Rajkumar Samdadia. I did the diploma in pharmacy, which is a 2-year course that allows you to get a license to open a retail store or a wholesale store. And then after I did my bachelor's in the pharmacy, it's like bachelor's of pharmacy everywhere else. And after that I directly moved to Paris to do my master's in Université Paris-Saclay in development of drugs and health products.
Okay, so to be clear, like you are in the second year of master.
Yeah,
in
right now
France,
in
right?
M2 master's.
M2, yeah, because it's different in each country. For example, Indonesia, it's like 2-year masters.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like one package thing. But in France, you know, for
Yeah,
example,
it's
me,
different. Like you
for example,
do M1 and you can switch to other M2.
Exactly.
And in India, it's the same like as in Indonesia. If you register in any of the masters, you do it like for whole 2 years. You cannot switch in between.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of new for me, but it's good because I think it's more, for example, if in the first year our program is development of drugs and a health product, I could say we learn something very general, like almost all things,
the medicinal toolbox, like chemistry part, pharmaceutical engineering part, as well as biotechnology. Yeah, the main focus was on biotechnology.
Yes, and for the second year it's like we can choose specialization, we could say.
Yes, in the specialization, like the axes are there. First axis is related to therapeutic and diagnostics, mostly in the virology, bacteriology. The second axis is in biotechnology, medicinal toolbox, as was in M1, and the axis third is more about pharmacology and analytical chemistry.
Okay, so what axis do you choose? Like you have right to choose two axes. I
like
think.
we can choose two of the three axes.
Okay.
One or two, two or three, or maybe 1 and 3.
And what you choose?
So mine was axis 2 and axis 3.
And it's talking about?
It's morely about biotechnology, pharmacology, medicinal toolbox, which is chemistry,
Yes.
and pharmaceutical engineering, mostly in the nanotechnology.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and mine, I decided to switch to the French program. Well,
By the way,
because
we were colleagues in M1.
we were colleagues in M1, but I decided to choose another program for M2, and it's French program. And they are more different because I think basically you in the M2 development of drugs and health products still like in the same program, basically just
in the same
different
program.
axes.
Yeah.
But for French program they have like these small classes. So basically, for example, me, I choose pharmaceutical technology and biopharmacy.
Yeah.
It's focused on formulation and its evaluation.
Okay, so more
Basically,
into the industrial pharmacy.
Industrial and more engineering, I could say.
Yeah.
But the students is just like 10 to 11% per classes. But they have a lot of these small classes. So, for example, they have a class is talking about regulatory affairs, and maybe it's only 10%.
Like the other fields in the pharmaceutical fields.
Exactly. So it's like small
It's
classes.
comprised of different types of fields which are related to pharmacy.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like small talk. So I want to know like what things that make you decide, okay, maybe I will go to further studies. First, like your idea why you do master's degree. Can you explain like?
Okay, so the first thing is like the bachelor's degree does not give you the acceptance in the industry that much if you compare it to the master's.
Okay.
And according to my preference, I choose the abroad studies because the exposure the context which I will made in another country, and I will meet different peoples. That was the first decision.
Exactly.
And the masters, which is development of drugs, it's international masters, so it's like we are from 9 or 10 different nationalities of the students at the same place, so we get more information of other countries as well.
Exactly.
And as a background of pharmacy, I chose and I prefer to do it in a drug development.
Exactly.
So it will open many doors in the industry of biotechnology, pharmacy and chemistry as well, because the modules which we are studying are related to this.
Okay, cool. But what make you decide, okay, maybe France is gonna be like the country of destination for your study? Like why?
In my mind, I didn't had that option to choose the country.
Like specific country?
Yeah, no
Okay.
specifications. Like I just had in my mind to move abroad
Okay.
for exposure. But then
Okay.
I had the QS ranking. Like this university is well ranked in Europe, in the world, like in the top 100, and in the Europe it's at the top 5 places, also in the Schengen ranking. So I chose like this university could be the one that will give me more exposure as
Yeah.
an international student.
Yeah.
And the masters was in English, so I prefer to do it in English because I'm not a French person, and I just little bit I know the French, just
Bonjour.
words, just words.
Say
Bonjour.
And then?
Then I say, au revoir, bye bye. So the greetings and sorry, thank you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think my reasons also the same, because I don't know in your country, but in my country, when we talk about studying in France, I think they are like expecting, maybe you take some course in business, management or fashion,
Finance as well.
Exactly. Well, okay, maybe cosmetics, it's not bad as well. Like
This
it's the
mostly
image.
fields are related to pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Mostly on the business development stage. So it's good.
Yeah, but in my country, it's like, okay, you want to study something like health science. It's not like, okay, maybe they will choose something like UK or the US.
Okay.
In my country, like
More prefer to English
so,
countries.
Exactly.
I also want to add, like the France country, this gives a lot of opportunity for the student. Like for the house accommodation, they from the government we get CAF.
Exactly.
It's like 30 to 40% refund on the rent you are paying.
Exactly.
Then there are like student services, like the cruise canteen where you can just eat in a €1 meal.
Exactly.
And it's really
My
cheap
favorite
if you
part.
just compare to buying groceries or
Yeah.
eating in the
Yeah.
restaurant. And the other thing is like the healthcare system is also really nice. Yeah, free.
It's free. Even like we are not like permanent residents yet. Basically, we are just students.
Students,
Okay, we
yeah.
have maybe permit for 1 or depends on your, for example, bachelor's degree. Maybe you have like 3 years resident permit, but they also give this access. So I don't think like in my country, for example, there is a foreigner that came to
Yeah.
Indonesia and then they will have this kind of privilege.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's the plus point here.
Exactly.
And if you are in under 26 years, like your age is less than 26, then you
Like
get
you.
more privilege. Yeah, like me.
Well, I'm older than. It's a shame that I cannot like get this advantage because I'm 29.
But still, you did some
Yeah, so
work.
I can like, oh my god, how lucky you are like in the classes, because I'm one of the oldest student. You see, I still get this CAF and then the health insurance and and I mean the life quality. I
Still,
could
yeah,
say it's
it's-
very good. The air quality, because
Yeah.
in my country is a big problem in Jakarta.
Same.
Like the
if you
air quality
compare to
index is
India.
like red. Also, I want to note that if we compare the educational fee,
Okay.
I could say France, it's one of the cheapest in the Europe, even if we compare to the UK and the US.
Yeah.
Like for example, I got
Definitely.
the conditional offer from several schools from Groningen in Netherlands.
Yeah.
But the tuition fee for a year is like 20,000 euros.
Yeah.
It's just for tuition fee you have to pay for your
And there's no
accommodation.
scholarships from the
Exactly.
university.
Maybe they have, maybe it's partial, maybe there is some more prestigious scholarship
Yeah.
which hard to compete with.
And you also have to
Yeah.
apply from your country or as a student after
Exactly.
coming to the specific country.
Exactly. It's also one kind of things that I'm thankful
Yeah.
of. I could say the budget of a French government for education and research, it's
more.
very, very big.
So like for India, the tuition fee is not that much if you compare to France. It's like 200 or 300 euros for a whole master's. But the thing is, in India, there are not that much research facilities that we work in university at Paris. So it's like you apply to the several professors, like I would like to work with you. I have some passion to work in nanotechnology, microbiome. So if you get selected, you also get paid if it's more than 2 months. And whereas in our country, the payment is not that much. So that's also the other reason I prefer to do the studies abroad.
I don't think even for example in Indonesia we do internship. I don't think we get paid. I don't know. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. In Indonesia, we do like 4 years of bachelor's degree. You get bachelor's of pharmacy, for example. And then you have to, for example, you want to be a pharmacist, you have to do what we call pharmacist professional program.
Okay.
So it's like 1 year professional program. You learn more specifically. For example, if you go to the industrial specialization or more clinical, you can choose. And then you have to do the exit exam.
It's like to get the license.
To get the license. Okay. Once you get the license, well, in my period, because I'm old. Okay, before the certification, it's valid for 5 years. Okay. And you have to redo the exam, or you have to like prove that you are still competent as a pharmacist. For example, because you keep your professional development by participating in some seminars, for example, or you do some work in health field, for example. But now I heard it's now you can have a lifetime license. So just once and you...
It's in a contrast in India. It's like at my time when I graduated bachelor's, there was no exit exam or entrance exam to get a license, obviously. And the exam was all about the syllabus from your bachelor's, as well as the drugs that can be given to other medication, to different diseases or ailments. But now there are more regulations because of after the COVID. There's more demand to pursue pharmacy and to have a license of pharmaceutical stores. So our government proposed exit exam. Like if you don't qualify that exam, then you cannot have the license to sell or purchase the medications.
It means that you have been here for a year, right?
Yeah.
And this is the first city you've been living abroad, I think. I
don't
know.
Like after India, like going abroad, this is the first time I've been abroad. And
the first country, the first city is Paris. Yeah. Okay, nice.
And we are sitting just behind the Eiffel Tower.
So, how do you think? Well, if we are, for example, me, I'm still in Indonesia. I have this kind of imaginary, I could say like Paris is a romantic city. It's very nice, blah, blah, blah.
And it's known for its romantic city.
Exactly, it's like city of love anyway. But as a foreigner, I'm sure that you have, you know what I mean? Like you have this kind of culture shock.
Yeah, big cultural shock.
Of course.
If you are an Indian, like if you come here, you will have definitely a cultural shock.
Okay, tell me. Okay, one by one. Okay, we walk through it one by one.
So in the dressing sense, in India, it's like fully dressed. Like we call it sari or
like
dresses.
A dress thing, right? And for the guy, I think there's also things like you wear this long.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's called dhoti. Some it's pajama, and mostly. It's not mandatory to wear the traditional dresses every day. Yeah. But men usually use the jeans and t-shirts and shirts, like the formal ones as well. So it's good for men's, and women's do the dresses. Like they use full dresses, not body showing any like part, kind of that. Yeah. But after coming here, I saw like girls in skirts, like tops, tank tops, and different. Like it was a really embarrassing and a cultural shock for me.
Exactly. I think, well, I kind of have the same. Maybe because I lived in a big city like Jakarta, it's like metropolitan.
Metropolitan, yeah.
Sorry. Well, but it's not that exposed, I could say. For me, maybe also the interaction between boys and girls.
Oh,
probably.
That's a valid point. Like there is not that much interaction
Yeah,
in our countries.
Yeah, exactly. In our country, well, it depends on the person, but for example, here, public display affection is very well. You can do
on
whatever
large
you
scale.
want.
Like I think a negative point here, because it's also have some drawbacks, like having smoking everywhere in the place and no hesitations on alcohol. Like even when you walk through the road, even the old people also are smoking, and that's also the thing that we are not used to see and observe in India.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's very well because maybe our country is Asian countries.
Yeah.
We have this kind of culture that it's more reserved. We could say conservative.
I think it's like more you are related, you like to your regional ethnicity, and like you are down to earth and more into roots.
Exactly. Agree. And also there is a big influence of religion as well, I could say.
So in India, it's obviously there are multiple religions and everyone follows their religion. And I think as well as in Indonesia, they follow religion strictly.
What is the majority? Like
the religion of India? It's Hinduism.
Hinduism.
Yeah.
And then like the second or
the
third
second, I think it will be Islam, and then there are like other religions which are also the branches from the Hinduism.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we have, it's kind of Sanatan Dharma, and between that follows other kind of religions.
Okay. Yeah, in Indonesia it's the majority is Islam, and then the second and the third it's like Christianity, but they have this Protestant and the Catholic, right? Okay. And then I think the fourth and the fifth, I'm not sure, but it's between Hinduism and Buddhism.
Yeah.
And the sixth, it's gonna be Confucianism.
It's the like first time I heard.
Yeah, it's a religion. I think it comes from China, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So basically, well, I'm not sure actually. So basically, we have this religion, and funny thing, we write down our religion on our ID card. So
okay, so
if,
like
for example, I
you
show
your
like
ID,
right
like you
now,
belong to this religion.
Yeah, it's weird, though. No.
Yeah, it's obviously weird.
I mean, in your country, you don't do the
like
same,
we don't have any, like we have like specific identity card. We call it Aadhaar card. Like it's your facial identity, your name, your birth date, and address. Not about any religion or like casteism and other category. We don't have that kind of stuff in India, frankly speaking.
But well, don't get us wrong.
No.
There is some, I could say, certain regulations we have, laws in Indonesia. For example, because we have this Ministry of Religions.
Every religion have their like head.
Yeah, basically, well, the sixth religion has this kind of ministry inside of the big ministry. And the thing is, it's necessary to know what religion you belongs to. Because, for example, if you are Christian and you do Christmas, for example, it's like one of the biggest holiday festival for them, and you will get double salary for.
Whoa,
on December.
Okay,
and for example, Muslim, we got a second salary as well, double salary for
like it's
Eid.
1 month extra.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, well, maybe that's the reason. But I don't know. It's just I don't know the
so
reason
it's like
why.
perks for every other religion.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know about Buddhism and Hinduism, what kind of holidays they have,
like
but sure,
we have so many.
everyone have the same rights for this kind of double salary thing. This is nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Also the good thing, because we have a lot of these religious holidays, all of Indonesian have the same holiday. So basically, we also get a free holiday on Christmas.
Okay, like
so
if it's holiday for other religion, it's holiday for you as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good thing. About the housing or transportation, how is it very different from your country? Well, I know it's gonna be very different.
Yeah.
For example, me, about the accommodation, well, in Indonesia, about bathroom, it's very different. Here, for example, they really separate between toilets, and the bathroom where you take a shower. In Indonesia, sometimes most of us like will put it in the same room.
Like it's attached bathroom and
Exactly.
they live in. Yeah.
And normally here they have dry bathroom. For example, okay, this is a specific place
just
where
a
you take a
place for shower and then mirrors. Like,
and the mirrors is like dry,
Yeah.
right? But in Indonesia, it's in
At one place.
majority, it's
Okay.
always wet bathroom. So, and we have this. I don't know. It's kind of funny. We have this a place to collect your water.
uh-huh.
Okay, to collect your water. And we have this small bucket.
Mhm.
So basically, if you don't
Yeah.
have shower, we do that.
It's the same in India. Like we have the mug and the bucket. You sit on some pads and you take the water by the mug on your body, and you just do the stuff.
Exactly. Well, some houses now they have this shower as well, modern houses.
Yeah.
But for example, my house is still traditional, I could say,
Uh-huh.
and it's like something. Okay, it's just something precious for me.
The
Also,
biggest fact I found here, like for the rent, for the accommodation, it's if you compare it in contrast with India, it's like 100 times more.
Agree.
Like when I was a bachelor student in India, it cost me like around 20 euros or 30 euros for a whole month, and here I'm living like 500 or 600 euros for a month.
Wait, 30 euros.
It's like at the time of my bachelor's, the accommodation cost me around 10 euros. And we had like a mess system where you just go to one place and you have your lunch and dinner, and for a whole month it was just maximum 25 euro for a month.
Okay.
And other expenses, because in India the food and other stuffs are like really cheap if you compare to other European country or any English speaking country. So maximum a student can like do its expenses is less than 50 euros for a whole month.
In Jakarta, it's quite expensive.
Uh-huh.
But well, still there is some classes, for example, if you're a
Uh-huh.
student, you can choose a very, well, it's not that big accommodation. I mean, you live alone anyway. Yeah.
And it also depends on which city you live in. Like it's a
Exactly,
rural area or urban
exactly.
or metropolitan area.
Exactly.
In the metropolitan it's costly, like still it will be less than 100 euro.
Well, here,
So
It's hard, no?
here Europe need to do some cost cutting.
well, thanks to the CAF
CAF
and
we get,
thing,
yeah.
we have this.
It reduces a lot
discount.
of discount.
Okay, how about the food?
So food, it's for me it's kind of difficult. I
Okay.
am a pure vegetarian guy. No wheat, no meat, nothing.
Yeah, you're
So,
right.
I do my own cooking at my home, like at my accommodation. I cook myself different Indian cuisines
Mhm.
because as an Indian I tend to have like more spices, more flavor, aroma,
Mhm.
and in the French dishes I genuinely speaking I don't find it that much.
Agree.
So because I'm used to have like more spicy food as an Indian, I don't like that much French food, and also a vegetarian guy, so I have to look every time what I eat if it contains some gluten, eggs or something, other meat products.
Mhm.
So I tend to eat at my room as well only.
Okay, so what is your restriction? So you don't eat meat?
No animal products
Also, how about
like meat,
cheese?
fish.
Even
So
cheese. It's
for
different
that
story.
cheese, it's like we are having it from cow's milk.
Yes.
So yogurt, cheese, then tofu, and India it's like a paneer.
Uh-huh.
It's made from the milk, so it's allowed.
Okay, because it's production from
Yeah.
the animal, so it's okay. It's not like you,
You are
cut
not-
the animal
yeah.
or something. Okay. So basically, like free animal cruelty.
No animal cruelty.
if you put that.
And maximum Indians, like around 70-80% of Indian people don't consume any meat products.
Okay, that's
Like
interesting.
we have variety of vegetarian food stuff, so we don't think we have a choice. Like we don't need to go to that side.
Okay, and do you find it hard? I mean, like
Like-
well, I don't know for example, me, I'm a Muslim, so I have to eat something what we call halal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, we can eat meat, but
But it should be halal.
it should be halal. And if you go to supermarket, I think you
Yeah.
saw a lot of
Yeah.
like halal,
Halal
thing.
products
It's
certified.
one thing that I like about France because before, I did my internship like 3 months in Spain.
Uh-huh.
And it's very different there. It's because the majority they are Christians, and I don't think there's a lot of Muslim immigrants. I'm not sure, but in Madrid, for example, I cannot find easily this halal section on the supermarket. So, like here, I could say it's not that hard to eat halal for
So
me.
here you can find in the supermarkets the halal
and
products.
sometimes they have this boucherie, a shop for butchery. I don't
Like
know how
where
to
you
say.
buy the meat.
Exactly, and they have this halal certification because they are Muslim, for example. So
Okay.
it's not that bad. It's not that hard for me. Well, it's
yeah.
expensive. That's the only thing, the only problem. But well, you can.
So it's like when you don't have like halal products you to eat, she's also a vegetarian.
Exactly, or maybe seafood also a problem here. The price, I mean.
Yeah, it's costly.
Because we are like in the center, and maybe it comes from
Other
another side
regions.
of another region of France, so the price is quite high. So I love seafood, but the thing is it's too expensive. So how do you feel about it? I mean, like here, you can eat comfortably, even, or like it's hard for you? No, it's okay.
I can eat comfortably because most of the restaurants have vegetarian menu as well. Like even if it's 2 or 5 stuffs they have, but still they have something vegetarian. So
So it's
I can
okay.
eat, and I don't like. I'm not a guy who goes to restaurant that much, so I prefer home cooking.
Exactly.
Good meal.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to a restaurant here,
Yeah.
you can pay like your rent in India for a month.
More than that. Like if you want to have a good proper meal for one time, I think it will cost you around 20 euros for one time meal. And if you have some like dessert, some more drinks, then it will be increase your budget. So yeah.
Shut up.
So
Okay.
in that place I just buy some groceries, like 5 or 10 euros groceries, and cook it for two times. So it's
Yeah.
more cheap for me that way.
How about the weather?
Weather really
How
nice.
is it weather in Indonesia? Sorry, in India.
The region I live in, it's really warm. Like
Uh-huh.
in the summer, it reaches like more than 45.
Shut up. No.
Yeah, like
you can cook eggs outside, no? 45, it's too much.
yeah,
no?
it's too much because the name of the area is Jalgaon. It's
Uh-huh.
a Kandesh.
Okay, is it like if we saw?
It's
we see
in
the
the
maps, it's
Maharashtra state. Like there's a state Maharashtra,
Like,
and
it's go like south, north, south, north.
so
or
it's not in the south, not in the north, like
like in the central.
west side of India.
Okay. Okay.
So like if you know the Mumbai,
yeah,
yeah, of course.
yeah, of course.
Mumbai is in the sea coast.
Mhm.
From that side, it's to the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I will find it. So it's warm.
Yeah.
Well, 45. Oh my god.
Like it also goes to 47, 48 in summers, and in the other in the monsoon or in the winters, it's 25 or 26 usual temperature.
Okay. But so you have these 4 seasons or like just
We
hot
have
and-
3 seasons, like
Uh-huh.
monsoon where it rains, then winter it's cold, and the summer.
And the coolest degree is like
Like in my city, the cold temperature I'll say it's 15, and currently we are at the temperature 13 with just a jacket and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So here we don't find any that much of cold.
okay. Oh, so you get used to it.
I'm used to it now.
Okay. Well, for me it's a little bit cold here now. Well, because in Indonesia we only have like 2 seasons.
Okay.
I don't know how to call it. It's not, well, it's hot season. We can compare it to summer. I think, I don't know, maybe 33, 35 at
Usual
max.
temperature? Ah no,
Like
it's
the
max.
maximum?
Okay.
Like the ambient, maybe like, well, 28 probably, like in the room temperature, I could say. And then in the rainy season, I think the coolest I've ever, well, it's in the city region, okay?
Okay.
Maybe there is some
Tropical
regions
areas
in the yeah, and also some mountains.
Yeah.
In the mountain range, maybe it's going to be colder. But I think it's around 18 The lowest.
18.
The lowest.
Okay.
So now you know how suffering I am now in France,
Yeah.
especially in winter, because it can go like
like
minus 10.
if in the contrast of Indonesia and France, India have like more different kinds of region, like
Yeah, I
humid
imagine.
region, in the Jammu Kashmir and Srinagar side it's snow like minus 10 minus 15.
Okay.
We have like Meghalaya northeast side, it's always monsoon and rainy season there. Then
The depressing region. Depressive
no, it's
region.
like if you really go to that region,
Yeah.
there are mountain climbing, trekkings, and the other stuff you can do. It's really good.
Okay.
So, but there are some risks like landslides sometimes happens
Yeah.
in that
I
area.
imagine.
So this is kind of the India regions: cold, warm, hot, humid.
You have all.
All yeah.
Have you visited other cities in France or like traveled to somewhere in France?
Okay,
or
so
not
in
really?
France, I've been to Lyon, then Marseille.
Marseille, really?
Yeah.
You've been to Marseille?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Because one of my friend lives there, so I
oh,
went
no.
there.
Yeah, and
It
I
was
think
just a 2-day trip.
but it's very beautiful, no?
Yeah,
Because
it's
they have
beautiful.
this port.
It's near the sea coast, I guess.
Wow,
Yeah, that's why.
I think the sea there is very blue, like deep blue, or is it like more
clear,
turquoise?
clear blue?
Oh my god! Oh,
Like
I've
if
never
you see,
been.
you know which color it is. Like we cannot define it by just say how the color looks like.
Yeah, I mean, like if we are talking, well, I also have this kind of impression. For example, they say it like south of France is like the most beautiful part of France.
Yes.
Well, each region they have this kind of beauty itself, like it's different. For example, Les Alpes, the mountain
Yeah,
of
the-
Alpen mountain, it's also beautiful. But the south, because it's close to the coast,
Yeah.
so it's very, I don't know. I've never been there. I'm so sad.
You should try it. Like
Yeah.
go for
Like my
once in
bucket
lifetime.
list.
Yeah. There's other place as well like Toulouse and Strasbourg.
Strasbourg, yeah, I've been to Strasbourg because before, you know, I came to France like 2 years ago.
Okay.
The first year, I didn't do the master directly. Actually, like I did this au pair thing. So basically, it's a program that let a foreigner to live in a French family,
Okay.
and we basically like work for that
For the family.
for the family. So basically, they have to be a French family.
Okay.
So you will learn the French
So it's
culture
like you
and language.
live as a family with them.
As a family with them, but you have these duties. For example, you have to take care of your little sister. So I have two
okay.
at that time, and like taking care of them.
It's kind of baby season.
Exactly what you get. Basically, like we have the pocket money. It's not that as big a salary.
So it's like you are part of family.
Family
you get some-
accommodation
yeah.
free, and you also will be attending school. So I
Okay.
attending French school. So that's
And
why.
for that, who pays?
The family.
Okay, so
That's why
like
it's
the family
nice.
paid your tuition fee.
Yeah, basically
That's
just
nice.
live there, work well, and
Become
you
a
get
part
this.
of that family.
Exactly.
Okay,
and
that's
you get
nice.
this.
So
It's
it
not
was in
bad.
Strasbourg.
It's not really in Strasbourg, but it's close. It's in Genosh. Well, it's very close to Luxembourg
Okay.
in Germany. So, well, it's a colder area, I could say.
Uh-huh.
Small city. Well, compared to here, for example, I can go to do a lot of activities. It's nice. There, it's also nice in terms of security, I could say, because, well, it's small
Yeah.
city. You know everybody anyway. And not too crowded, not too complicated. You
Not
know.
noisy as well.
Exactly. Here, you know.
So we will keep that for the part 2. We will see you again.
So thank you for listening and see you on the next video.
Bye bye. Hello guys, I'm Jinesh. We are here to do a podcast with Bey.
So no, it's normal because it's your first time.